So Neil, you're with Oracle.
I am.
I'm very curious, what is Oracle up to these days in the data space? Because I know, been on the journey with Oracle for 20 some years, usually data warehousing, data management, databases. But what else do you guys, what are you up to?
Well, we're continuing that journey. I mean, people, as you said, most of us think of us as a database company, right? Where database equals relational and relational equals SQL. And what we've been doing over the last few years is to really extend that concept, right? So that from our point of view, we see data residing in many different storage mechanisms, in relational, in Hadoop, in NoSQL. So we've really been modifying our technology and our strategy to really be a data company, right, for data management rather than just simply a relational database company.
So if you're already a company that's working with Oracle and you have databases and you probably have an OBI instance or two or whatever, what do you now have that can help me use my data better? What's that transition?
What we're trying to do is to allow companies to take advantage of these new technologies, right, without a huge disruption in their process. So what we're doing essentially is to operationalize this technology to allow them to be able to add Hadoop and NoSQL to their existing Oracle environment. They can use the same tools and techniques that they're using now. They can move data from one system to another system transparently. We offer the BI tools on top of, again, both relational and Hadoop and NoSQL. We offer big data products like our Big Data Discovery product, which is a net new data visualization and transformation tool for business analysts to get after Hadoop. We offer our ODI, our Oracle Data Integration tools that allow you to do data integration, generating Spark code. So we've really tried to incorporate these technologies, making it easy for existing customers to take it on, not just in terms of their ability to use their existing tools and techniques, but also to be able to manage it in the same way that they're managing the systems today.
So you have Oracle, not you, but Oracle has,
not me,
from the very small, like MySQL instances, all the way up to the really large enterprise. You've got everyone covered in that data play now?
We largely do. I mean, we have two very large open source projects, of course, one being MySQL and the other one being Java. But from a data perspective, we do try to cover the entire gambit, right? And not just on premises, but quite importantly now on the cloud. So we have our full offering up and operational on the cloud. And what we're trying to do is to keep the same architecture both in the cloud and on premises, because we see a lot of customers not necessarily within or situation, but an and situation. Right. They're going to have a combination of two for some time. And rather than architecting for one and then finding a disruption later on, if you architect your software for running on top of Oracle, then whether it's on the cloud or on premises, you can go back and forth between the two.
So you have a transition then for people. They don't have to throw the baby out with the bathwater and go to a new platform immediately.
Yeah, the transition is largely transparent, right? Because it's the same architecture and largely the same technology that's running on premises versus on the cloud.
So do you see any different industry sectors wanting to transition from their traditional data management activities to more cloud-oriented things? Are there certain industries that are doing that quicker than others?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more of an expansion than a transition. Clearly the cloud came into prominence through a series of applications, right? Where lines of businesses, whether it was CRM and HCM or ERP, were looking to move their applications to the cloud. And and we've offered that for some period of time to allow our customers to, move their operational applications into the cloud. We've also been able to pick up a lot of net new customers that maybe wanted to take advantage of Oracle software, but they just wanted to use it, not run it, right? In the platform as a service category, in the technology category, we're seeing it really kind of across all sectors. For big data in Asia, you largely see, it's dominated by financial services and telco. And then you have, of course, the government sector following close behind, and then other ones like retail and manufacturing as well.
Yeah, okay. So if we fast forward this conversation to next year in Singapore, the first week in December, what would you like to see change with Oracle and your data strategy and what you guys are doing going forward? And what would you like to see change in the industry as well?
Well, we came here this year to really talk about not potential success, but actual success. We came and talked about a number of customers that are not thinking about the potential, but rather realizing the potential. And Asia is now beginning to explore a lot of these potentials as well. So next year, what we would expect to see coming into this conference is many more companies in Asia Pacific having gone from the potential to realize the true business benefit, right? Because at the end of the day, all this technology is significant, but it's not material until you can generate a real actual business benefit as a result.
Yes. And now for the industry, that's the change that you would like to see. And same with Oracle?
Well, I think from an industry point of view, you're seeing a lot of changes taking place. There's a continuation of net new open source projects. If you go back 2 years ago, or maybe 2.5 years ago, you would be talking all about MapReduce. This conference, we're talking all about Spark. Yep. In our particular case, we're not just talking about Spark, but we have production products based upon Spark. And next year, who knows, right? This is kind of a very exciting kind of continuation of innovation that's happening both in the open source environment as well as the general environment as a whole. And I think, for a lot of companies, they're trying to figure out how to take advantage of the opportunities that are here, but not essentially get immediately stuck in the past, right? If you started implementing, a big data strategy based on MapReduce, and then only 1.5 years later, you find that it's obsolete, right? A lot of what we're focusing on is how do we create these virtualization layers, right, where we can isolate customers from those changes. How can they take advantage of the changing dynamics of the technology, whether it's performance or cost advantages and the like, but not necessarily be attached to any one of those. And we do that in our data management space by providing things like Big Data SQL that allow you to create that virtualization layer over Hadoop and NoSQL and relational. We do that in our Oracle Data Integrator technologies, which generate code based on a visual projection, whether that happens to be in SQL or PL SQL or in Spark or what comes next, right? Nobody wants to get essentially stuck, in fact, being an early adopter, but then only to find yourself, right, being locked in
to something that's changed.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, Neil, we look forward to that conversation next year.
My pleasure. Thank you.